crazy out here, man. I mean, it's a lot going on in the streets. It's a lot going on in the ghettos of the mind. I'm saying I write rhymes. Check. Feel my pain like it was yours. Crack addicts busting right through my doors. Bleeding on my lawn, I'm destined to be great. I swear, Jesus, read it on my palm. Tipsy, I'm calm, then I blow up like Vietnam bomb.
Wow. Thank you, Wesley. Can you hear me now? Maybe, maybe not. Okay, cool. Yeah, you know what's weird is I'm looking at it right here. I'm seeing there's people viewing and nobody said anything until now. Maybe they said something. I can see that. What's up, Nick? He's on Facebook. So I am seeing Facebook comments. Literally nobody said anything. They were just sitting here watching me talk to a wall or some shit. That's weird. Thanks, everybody. That's loyalty. But yeah, no, I was talking about. I went down. I posted earlier. If you guys didn't see it, I posted the Prince halftime show from I think 2007 or 8. It was whenever the Bears played the Colts in the Super Bowl. And well, thanks for joining, my man. Good to see you, Nick. But yeah, man, like I started getting into this whole like I started watching just Prince videos after that because I've always loved that halftime performance. I've always been a fan of Prince. And I went down this wormhole on YouTube of just like learning about like his background. And, you know, I knew a lot about him musically. And I've actually passed by him when I worked in the industry. And I never got Prince was one of those guys you couldn't get around. He's just like sorry, I'm trying to get Anthony to come in here because he's an R&B singer. Anthony gets down with like, you know, music and stuff like that. I think he would have a good input on this. But he has a lyric that says, "Don't let the elevator bring you down." And I think it was one of his band members that asked him, they're like, "What does that mean?" Prince looked at him and was like, "The elevator is the devil." So it was the weirdest thing that Prince died in an elevator after that, or just outside of his elevator. And it's like weird how these big prolific artists kind of predict their own death. Tupac, Biggie, Prince. I don't think Michael ever did it in his albums, but there's an eerie phone call that was like just a week before he died where he's talking to like his like close friend or whatever. And he's like, "They're trying to kill me." That was crazy. But yeah, I get into weird stuff like that. I don't really buy into a lot of conspiracies. I think some shit is just so obvious that like calling it a conspiracy is just like saying you don't want to talk about it. Because, I mean, come on. Did you know that there is more, and not to get way too off topic here, but did you know there's more evidence for UFOs than there is for dinosaurs? Statistically. Like, think about that. And we still got our government telling us that they're fucking weather balloons every single time. We got some high-tech ass weather balloons. That's all I got to say. Them things got mobility, a speed we have. I mean, come on, man. Weather balloons traveling at the speed of light. That's crazy. But yeah, no, I just thought it was weird. And I guess you can kind of get into the whole conspiracy side of things. But like Prince was saying this stuff in interviews. Like, I remember there was one back in the day, you know, people were always trying to get him to talk bad about Michael. And he like cut everybody off. He's like, "Yeah, you guys are setting this up." Like, he's like, "But you got to realize, I mean, yeah, we all look at Mike as some weird guy, but maybe he knows something we don't know." And then Prince, like, he went on the Arsenio show when he first came back on TV. And then he was talking about, you know, history that was basically erased from history books. And he was literally like, "Look," he's like, "You guys are going to take this out. I already know you are." And he was just saying all this stuff that's like, and literally calling people out for it. Like, I hate the term woke because it's such a I don't know. It's just such a mainstream thing. But like Prince was a smart dude. So I don't know. I mean, the dude obviously had a bit of a drug problem. But I mean, when you walk around in heels for 30 plus years and you're a man, you're probably going to have some pain. And that's probably, they were saying that he was on like painkillers because of, you know, injuries he acquired on stage and whatnot. But the dude is just musically above most. When you're talking, the guy could play 300 instruments. I can't even name 300 instruments. And that's just a raw number. Like, it's 300 plus. I can't even name 300 instruments. And I'm heavily into music. And the dude could play them like fluently. So, yeah, I don't care what anybody said. Greatest Super Bowl halftime show ever. And the dude made it rain, literally, while singing Purple Rain. Come on now. But we got the Super Bowl coming up this Sunday. I don't even know who's doing the halftime show. I don't really care because it's really all about Tom Brady for me. He, time and time again, comes back and just proves everybody wrong. There's so many people that hate Tom Brady, but it just proves we live in a country that is full of envy because it's just people hating winners. Tom Brady is like, dude, like, people are long retired at his age, and this guy's going back to the Super Bowl. He took the Tampa Bay Bucks, okay? Nobody expected them to be in a – like 2 years ago, okay? If you would have said, hey, the Tampa Bay Bucks are going to be in a Super Bowl in 2 years, everybody would be like, yeah, right. How? What? Who's going to dig them out of the mess they're in? Answer, Tom Brady. And to be honest, I think they got this one. I think Patrick Mahomes is good. He's very good, but I think he's overrated. That's just my opinion. And there are a lot of underrated quarterbacks. The Weeknd is the halftime. I don't get it. Oh, the Weeknd is an art. Okay. Let me put this up real quick. The Weeknd is an artist, correct? I'm not into new music, so I apologize. But I think I'm right. He or she is an artist or a band. Either way, your LOL is definitely warranted because who the fuck is that? Like, really? Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, I don't know anything about The Weeknd. If he's good, whatever. Cool. I just don't see that name. Like, really? You would think, like, they would go big. Mariah Carey, Elton John. I mean, he's still doing it. Damn, like they're really shortchanging the Super Bowl. And that's no diss to The Weeknd. I don't listen to new music, so I can't judge. I'm just saying, I don't know you. If your music's good enough, I'm going to hear it. Somebody's going to be like, hey, check it out. Nobody's ever been like, dude, you got to listen to The Weeknd. And even if they did, I would be like hesitant because it's a stupid name. But okay. I really get thrown off by stupid names. I also hate when rappers give themselves a name. I think that's so corny. I didn't like my handle at first, the Donnie Darko thing, because I didn't know the movie. And I was a bad kid in high school. And some kid said some things that I didn't like. And then he said them way too many times. And he would always do it in the middle of class because he was a bitch. And he thought he was safe. And then one day I just snapped and there was a desk in between us and I picked it up and I started hitting him with it. It's not as bad as it sounds. I wasn't trying to kill him, but I hate when people like when you're the new kid, you know, and then people think they could just like mess, like they got to test you. That's like the dumbest thing. That it's like, if you don't want to get hit, don't test me. You know what I mean? But anyway, I had to go to like anger management classes after that, even though it was literally like, I've been managing my anger so well this whole time. You guys just don't even know. I've been ignoring this dude. And yeah, so he got a few stitches. It wasn't that bad. But he never said anything ever again. So whatever. But anyway, the movie came out and I was rapping and everybody's like, yeah, you're Donnie Darko. And I'm like, that sounds like a fucking like knockoff Duke Nukem or something. I don't want to be that. And they were like, no, you got to watch the movie. So I did. And I'm like, okay, so you people are basically saying I'm schizophrenic. Thank you. But I kind of developed a cool little gimmick out of it. And I'm not really big into gimmicks. It kind of just came in. And yeah, here it is, Donnie Darko. But you could totally tell when other rappers like give themselves names. I think it's corny. I think your surroundings, your environment, that should give you your name. And it sticks like a call sign in the Navy or Air Force. Just sticks with you. Nowadays, you got the dumbest names, man. What the fuck is a Little Uzi Vert? Why has everything got to have little in the front of it? And then you come out west and the essays, they're all like Mr. And there's even a Mr. Doctor, which is like, okay, somebody needs to be more creative. But yeah, rappers just have stupid names. The best ones always use their own names, like Nas. I want to meet Jay-Z one day and just be like, why? Your name is Sean Carter. I understand you're like Jazzo's protege, but what makes you Jay-Z? It's a cool name, but I don't get it. See, this is where that anger management comes in. I know you can hear my neighbors. New neighbors. I hated the last ones. I'm really going to try and get along with these ones. But yeah, anyway, back to it. Yeah. But The Weeknd. You would think that like, especially now, they would try to get like real big artists to play the halftime show at the Super Bowl, right? Speaking of, yeah, like why not Jay-Z? Why has he never done a Super Bowl? Too gritty for him, maybe? I mean, we saw Janet Jackson's titty a few years ago, so I don't think I don't understand. He could literally they're in Tampa this year, so or get like a big Miami or not Miami. There really isn't any rappers from Tampa, so yeah, it would have to be somebody from like Atlanta or Miami or something local to that region. But like a big one, get like Ludacris. But that just shows my age because I don't think Ludacris is a rapper anymore. But yeah, The Weeknd. I don't think I've ever heard one song by this person. And again, I'm not saying it's what he does isn't of merit. I'm just saying your name sucks, you know. Childish Gambino. What about him? That's Donald Glover, right? I actually like some of his stuff, and he's considered a new rapper. Well, he's like kind of a singer too. Let's see. Oh, he's from Atlanta. Okay, yeah. I'm just old, man. I think Atlanta. I think like Outkast and Ludacris. I turned 35 today. That's hard to say. I'm a mid-30s white male. Yeah, think on that for a minute. I don't even feel like I'm in my 30s. This is a bullshit. So I tell these dumbass kids, I'm like, yo, you think you're never going to get old, but the shit goes by so fast. Like in a heartbeat. You blink your fucking eyes and you're in your mid-30s. Kids on the way. Fucking wedding ring on your finger. Balls in your wife's purse. It's a wrap. Nah, it's good. Life is good. I'm fucking around. But yeah, I like Childish Gambino. He's good. I liked him as Lando Calrissian. I know this isn't the Star Wars show, but I thought that the movie I would hate most out of Disney's version of Star Wars would be the fucking Han Solo movie. And guess what? It was, to me, the best one they put out. I mean, I know everybody's going to argue Rogue One, but ask yourself this. How many times have you actually watched that? It was good the first time. When I tried to watch it a second time, it was like, yeah, I'm not going to do this. Fast forward to the Vader part. Done. It's not that good of a fucking movie. The Solo movie, if you just take the fact that I don't like other people playing characters I already know, but if you just take the fact that they're trying to make it Han Solo and Lando Calrissian and just pretend they're somebody else, it's a fucking good movie. That is the damn truth, Wesley. I got the cosign. Boom. He was referring to the age thing. It just, yeah, it does. It flies by like the fucking Millennium Falcon. Fastest ship in the fleet. Sneaks up on you. Sorry, I dropped my phone. But yeah, who would I pick? Like if I was on that committee, I would get Jay-Z. I'm not gonna lie. Or dude, call up Eminem. Eminem though, he'd probably be like, well, you gotta have the Super Bowl in Detroit. Yes. So on point. A lot of unnecessary filler. Yeah, I didn't care about the characters. There wasn't one character in there when they were all dying. I knew they were all going to die. There was not one character where I was like, no. Maybe the droid a little bit. It was sad when he died, but the guy that played him, such a prick. I don't care. I don't want to see him in another Star Wars movie, but apparently we're going to see him in that fucking awesome show they got coming out with Diego Luna, because I'm sure everybody's excited about that. Yeah, let's get the supporting actor from Rogue One and give him a show. Get the fuck out of here. Give me a break. The fuck, I don't even know his name. Caspian or something. Who cares? Give me more Boba Fett. I got to save this for the Star Wars show. We got a lot of good stuff coming up with that. This show's getting revamped. This show is going to turn into the Mama Luke's, because it's tough doing this thing by yourself. I did not have any preparation coming on today. I haven't been on in a while. I've been doing the Star Wars show when I had time. Skipped a week. And I've been trying to come on here just to give you guys some content, but I don't want to be another one of those fucking podcasters that I don't want to be in that box. We're trying to do something different. We want to make it interactive. You get a lot of these guys that like charge for, to answer people's comments. I ain't doing that shit. I think that shit's corny as fuck. More power to you if you can, but really, you're going to charge people to comment, to reply. Like, I'm sorry, dude, I would never pay to get my opinion out on somebody's show. It's like, either truthfully interact or just whatever, don't do it. But check this out. Here's some weird stuff. So with school and everything, like I've been like building a resume and getting on LinkedIn and all that. I got a job offer from iHeartRadio, and I had to turn it down for now because I'm in school. I'm not going to just give up on that, especially when I'm paying for it. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's interesting. I'm not too familiar with iHeartRadio, but they were like, yeah, we want you to like host your own show. And they weren't very specific about like what kind of music I would be, what kind of music channel I would be on or whatever. But I had to make it abundantly clear. I'm like, look, if it's anything new, like this new rap and stuff, I can't do it. You know what I mean? Like, give me a channel. Bro, I guarantee you, give me a channel that plays golden era hip hop. I don't care, 80s through early 2000s. Cover that whole span of time all day. And I'll be throwing trivia out there. I love all that from Kool Mo D to who's somebody that came out in the early 2000s? 50 Cent. I'm not a huge fan of 50. I was a fan of his earlier work. But I was a fan like before he signed with Shady and got big. I accidentally picked up his CD at like FYE or Rasputin or something. And I just liked the cover. And I ran out of shit of new music to buy. And I just kind of got lucky and came on it. And it was probably the dopest underground mixtape I've ever. It wasn't a mixtape. It was the Guess Who's Back joint. And it had some of the cuts from Get Rich or Die Trying, like the bonus cuts. You're Not Like Me and what was the other one? I can't remember the title, but it was dope. I liked it. But yeah, you give me that, I cover that whole span right there. 80s to the 2000s. But I do have some unpopular opinions. Like, for example, Rapper's Delight. I think that song sucks. And no, it's not the first hip hop song. It's far from the first hip hop song. Hip hop started in the mid 70s in reggae dance halls. So don't believe what they tell you when they say it started with disco. It didn't. Trying to gay up hip hop. That ain't where it came from. Come on now. But no, I didn't like Rapper's Delight, and I don't credit Sugar Hill Gang for doing anything for hip hop, to be honest. Same way I don't credit Tupac as one of the greatest rappers ever, because he's not. Truth is, he sucked when it came to lyrics. That's not a diss. That's just the truth. As a lyricist and somebody who respects the craft, the actual artistry of being an MC, Tupac was not good. He was a good songwriter. Great songwriter. But when it came to verses, very repetitive. Hit 'Em Up wasn't a good diss track at all. That was literally a diss track riding on fame, which is, it rhymes with fame. Come on. If Biggie did enter that battle, Tupac wouldn't have stood a chance. But Biggie was the bigger man. Let's be honest. That's another unpopular opinion I have too. I don't like the person Tupac became. I think he had a lot of great ideas. I think he spoke eloquently on social issues and whatnot, but he didn't live by what he said. He's very fake in that regard. Who decides to become a blood at 22 years old? Like, what are you doing that for? What is your purpose for that? Even the people around, I'm not the only one saying this. The people around him were like, what the fuck are you doing? It's ridiculous. But he liked that whole thing, that whole image. That's why he's dead, by the way. There's no big conspiracy as to why Tupac died. There's no government cover up, none of that shit. Baby Lane, the dude he beat up in the casino in Vegas, that's the guy who killed him. You punch a Crip in the face and scream MOB, Mob Piru. That's the gang he was running with. Baby Lane was a Southside Crip. That's a big rival with Mob Piru. And the superstar went up and punched a killer in the face. What do you think happens when you do that? That's why I say Pac was like the dumbest smart motherfucker I ever saw. Because he was really intelligent, but he made some stupid decisions. And unfortunately, we lost other people because of it. Not just Biggie, but there were a lot of people that got hurt, a lot of people that got died behind that feud, or that died behind that feud that he started. Because let's be honest, Pac started that. There was nothing behind the scenes that happened. Like, the problem was Pac was hanging out with the wrong people. He knew he was hanging out with the wrong people in New York. Big warned him that he was hanging out with the wrong people. And Tupac felt that because Biggie was such a huge artist at the time that he should have known every fucking crime that takes place on the streets of New York, which that's not the way New York works, Mr. Shakur. I don't even believe he believed that, though. I believe that Tupac really just wanted to start a feud for record sales or whatever it may be. And unfortunately, that became a coastal feud. A lot of people that will probably never even know their names died in that. And then Biggie died, unfortunately, after just having a son. So, yeah, Tupac, what a hero. Fuck out of here. Come on. I ain't afraid to say that shit. I know everybody thinks he's this. It's like, no, dude, you're an idiot. There are great things about him. That's the problem. That's my problem with Tupac. I love he had this gift of gab when it came to speaking on social issues. Very eloquent dude. He knew what was going on, but he didn't live by it. And that's an unfortunate thing. It's like that movie A Bronx Tale. Saddest thing in life is a wasted talent. That's what Tupac was. You decide to become a blood at 22 years old. You really need to assess what's going on in your life. You're rich already. You start gangbanging after you're rich. That's a really dumb choice to make. And I'm sure, Suge Knight had something to do with that, Suge Knight was addicted to that role. He loved playing the Godfather. And that's no judgment on him. Whatever. Some people like that, but I feel like Tupac wasted his life on that dumb shit. And that's no disrespect to the Crips or the Bloods. I have friends on both sides. But they were born into it. Tupac was already rich. Tupac was from Marin City, California. That's Northern California. And at the time, there were no Crips or Bloods there. So I don't even know why it became part of his vocabulary. It's a really weird concept to me. It's like Plexico Burress shooting himself in a club because for some reason he had to pack a gun. It's like, dude, you're rich and famous. Make your security do that. Makes no sense. People make stupid choices when they have money just for the sake of trying to look hard. It's ridiculous. I'll tell you this, though. A gun never made anybody look hard. I think my brother's watching right now. And he'll tell you, dude, my brother, he's my little brother. And I think this dude would rather go fist. He would rather go fist with anybody any day. That kid can fight. I've seen him. He's nasty. He's good with the hands. Shut the fuck up. Sorry, it was my phone. But yeah, all that gun shit after you're rich, that's dumb as fuck. Come on. Hire a bodyguard. Or at least get your concealed carry permit. You could pay off a judge to get that approved. Come on. But who knows? Same with Lil Wayne. I think he makes great music. But it's like, dude, you've been signed to a record label since you were like 11. And you want me to believe that you're some hard-ass gangbanger? Come on, bro. Teach something better to kids. You know what I mean? You could still be a badass and not a dumbass. You know what I mean? It's a sad thing, dude, that culture has become so big. But the funny thing is, if you talk to people who actually live that life and have grown up in it, it wasn't ever a choice. And if you ask anybody if they could do it over, they would want a different life, period. One of my best friends grew up in Compton, a Crip, became a Crip. He'll tell you, I'm going to try and get him on the show, actually. If you're watching, Compton Ass Pat, that's my nickname for him. Need to get you on the show so you can talk about it. That dude was crazy too, man. But if you look at him now versus who he used to be, totally different person. He moved to Phoenix. Can't even stand. I never thought he would leave LA or Compton. I remember we were doing this weird little almost deal with Def Jam. And we were like on the verge of actually, making something of ourselves. And he's like, I'm never leaving Compton. I was like, bro, you can come visit me then, dude, because that's ridiculous. But I understood where he was coming from. He wanted to stay grounded, But now it's like he looks back on the whole shit. And he's like, it's just so dumb. I wasted so much of my life. And he did. A lot of unnecessary shit comes with that. But it's not their fault. If you really look at it too, it's like you don't have another option when you grow up in an impoverished community. You know what I mean? Those communities are set up for failure. It takes a really rare set of circumstances to get out of it. And people fear mediocrity. Imagine mediocrity in the lower class. It's just not acceptable. It's not a livable circumstance. So people want better. Having the whole crack epidemic coming up, people lost a lot of family. People parents drifted away from their kids because of crack. So kids were looking for companionship, camaraderie. There were the gangs. You know what I mean? There are no jobs in the ghetto. I don't know if anybody's ever been. Well, yeah, I know a couple you watching have been. Where we grew up and where, a lot of these quote unquote ghettos are in America, there aren't jobs. I hate when people are like, why don't those stupid gangbangers just go out and get a job? It's like every fucking store in the ghetto is a small little convenience store owned by one family from Korea or India. You think they're fucking hiring people? No, they're not. So what, you got to take 3 buses and a train just to get to your job? So half of your paycheck goes to your bus and train fees. And then the next just goes to the food you eat to keep yourself going at the job. Why would you want to do that? It's ridiculous. And they're not training these kids. And like I said, these communities are set up for failure. The education systems suck. They're not teaching kids how to succeed. I remember when, one of the schools I went to, because of our neighborhood, there was the new gym and the old gym. And all the kids from the rich neighborhoods got to go to the pep rallies and shit, right? We got to go to the old gym and listen to a police officer tell us why our life expectancy was shorter than everybody else's. Yeah. That's what they do. So not only do they set you up for failure, they let you know and then bring you down. They whittle you down to think that way. I wasn't even trying to get deep in this conversation. It started out talking about Prince. God damn it. Prince was the man, though. I will say that. If you guys aren't up on Prince, you need to be. I want to see all y'all bathing in the purple rain by tomorrow. That's what I want for my birthday. Put yourself up on some Prince. Anyway, you know what time it is. I am Donnie Darko, and I just brought you a complete entire episode of nothing because I just wanted to talk to y'all and say what's up because I know I have not been on screen for a while, but it's only because I'm making moves, people. Trust me, this shit's going to get better. I'm telling you. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, my opinion, you a bitch if you need a gun. That's right. Damn it. Unless the other guy has a gun, then you better have one too and just shoot better. But yeah, this is Shots in the Dark, and our message today is shoot better. Period. You guys are the shit, man. Thank you guys for joining in. I'm going to try and be back again as soon as I can. Follow all our other pages, Nitty Gritty Niners. Breezy's got his own, Breeze All About It. Follow my man Anthony. He's on Twitch. God Beats, trying to get his video game thing off. I know some of you guys video game. Go follow his shit. Watch his videos. He's actually pretty funny when he games. So, and I'm not even into video games, but I'll join on his shit a few times. So, yeah. But I'm going to be back, man. Follow Galactic Basics, too. We're really trying to get that thing off the ground. Midi-chlorian Mafia podcast. We're working on it. It's going to get real good. Pretty soon, we got the Mama Lukes coming. And Paulie and I have been talking about doing an X-Files type show where we address all kinds of conspiracies. Because here's the thing. There is new UFO news like every single fucking day. Now, I don't want to make it just like a UFO show. You know, I want to talk about other stuff too. Like, for example, Prince. Was he murdered? Maybe. Michael Jackson. Was he murdered? Maybe. Now, I know that just sounds crazy right now, but there actually is a lot of evidence supporting these theories. So we want to talk about that. But if we don't have some shit to talk about in that regard, we could just talk about UFOs. There's fucking UFO news every single day. You know, there is more evidence for UFOs than there is dinosaurs. Think about that shit. And our government continues to tell us it's weather balloons. These fucking weather balloons are fast, bro. Holding back on that technology. Next time I fly out of country, I'm going to be like, can I just take a weather balloon? Dumbasses. Our government's so lame, dude. It's like they don't even care how stupid their lies are anymore. But anyway, we'll get into that on that show. But we're going to be doing that. It's going to be crazy. And, of course, we're going to be addressing some of the more bullshit conspiracy theories like Bigfoot. And trust me, we will have some jokes on that. The Loch Ness Monster. A fucking piece of driftwood somebody sees every few years and thinks it's a fucking monster because they got too drunk. Them damn Scots. Anyway, I'm out, man. Peace.
It's crazy out here, man. I mean, there's a lot going on in the streets. There's a lot going on in the ghettos of the mind. I'm saying I write rhymes. Check. Feel my pain like it was yours. Crack addicts busting right through my doors. Bleeding on my lawn, I'm destined to be great. I swear, Jesus, read it on my palm, tipsy. I'm calm, then I blow up like Vietnam bomb.